The morning sun had barely touched the rooftops of Agwashuku in Delta State, Nigeria, when Abube zipped up the worn-out backpack that had carried more than just books over the years. It was navy blue with a broken zipper and a faded patch that read Hope College. To others, it looked like just a tired school bag. But to Abube, it carried his entire dream: folded clothes, a carefully packed Bible from his mother, a USB flash drive with years of designs, and a letter of admission into the University of Benin to study architecture. Outside, his mother, Mama Abube, stood by the wooden door of their weathered compound. Her eyes were red but proud. "This bag no go carry only your clothes, Abube," she said, voice trembling. "E go carry your destiny." Abube nodded, unable to speak past the lump in his throat. At 19, he had grown used to disappointments, like the scholarship that never came, the days he sketched designs with charcoal on torn calendars, or the hours spent helping his mother sell roasted corn and plant into the junction just to save money. But today was different. Today, he was going to chase the dream he had clung to since he was a boy, drawing buildings on the back of his father's funeral program. There was no send-forth party, no crowd of friends waving him off. Just Mama and a Kiki driver who waited to take him to the bus park. Before he stepped into the Kiki, his mother pressed N2000 into his hand. "Use M wisely, my son. Not all I get." The journey to Benin was long and bumpy. Along the way, he kept glancing at the bag beside him, whispering, "We go make 'em." It wasn't just about getting a degree. It was about proving that even from the corners of Agwashuku, greatness could rise. At the university, life wasn't smooth. He stayed in a crowded off-campus room with 3 other boys and shared meals of Gary and groundnuts when money was tight. But Abube was focused. While others partied on weekends, he sat in internet cafes learning design software. He borrowed old laptops from classmates and volunteered for student projects no one wanted just to get experience. One night, while walking back from a late group meeting, Abube was mugged. They took the only phone he owned, one he had saved 6 months to buy. Back in his room, he stared at the empty space where the phone had been charging and cried for the first time in years. He wanted to go home, to rest, to quit. But the next morning, he saw the bag again. Torn, dusty, but still there. And he remembered Mama's words, "Now your destiny, day carry." That bag had been with him through WEC, through jam, through nights of hunger and moments of doubt. He wasn't going to let it end here. So he started again. He borrowed a classmate's phone to apply for a design competition sponsored by a local NGO looking for a sustainable community center design. He stayed up 3 nights straight sketching, refining, rendering. He submitted just before the deadline, not expecting much. Weeks later, during a lecture, he got a call. He had won. His design was not only selected, but the NGO wanted to work with him to bring it to life in a rural community. They offered him a paid internship and a small grant. From that moment, things shifted. Abube's name began circulating around the faculty. A lecturer took special interest in him, introducing him to professionals in Lagos and Abuja. One of them offered him a spot in a summer architecture program. He went to Lagos with the same bag. Every trip, every new milestone, that same blue bag came with him, worn but faithful. Years later, Abube graduated top of his class. At the convocation, he wore his robe over a shirt that had once belonged to his late father. Mama Abube sat in the audience, eyes wet with joy. She clutched the old bag he had given back to her, now patched and stitched but revered like a family heirloom. Abube eventually opened his own architecture firm in Asaba. He named it One Bag Studios. Every year, he sponsored 3 students from underprivileged backgrounds in Delta State who had dreams like his. Before they left for university, he handed each one a new backpack with a note inside. "Carry this with courage. I once had only one bag, one dream, and a destiny that felt too far. But I made it. So will you. Because sometimes, all it takes is one bag, one dream, and the will to chase your destiny."